Hey guys, and welcome to Petrol Ped, and welcome to Lohen. I'm back here with my friends to do some very special work to Charlie Clubman there. Today is New Wheels Day, and I am super excited to show you what I've chosen. But first of all, we need to talk about all the ins and outs of buying new wheels for your car. There's lots to learn. Now then, choosing new wheels for your car can be a proper minefield. You could go down the manufacturer route and just look at manufacturer specific wheels for your car, or you could go to some wheel specialists and look at aftermarket wheels. The deciding factor, or the reason for changing wheels, I guess for most people is likely to be aesthetics, but there are some important performance benefits that you can gain as well, especially if you go down the route of having light wheels and look at unsprung mass. But when you start to look at the specifications of new wheels, it can be a bit of a minefield, lots of numbers and letters that are super important to understand when you're making the choice. And one of the things you can do is go to a specialist like Lohen here, and they will help you through that process. What I thought it might be interesting for us to do is to explore what I've done with the selection of the wheels for the Clubman and try and debunk a few of those numbers and a little bit of that complexity. Now, the first thing I recommend you doing is trying to find out the specification of the wheels that are currently on your car. So for my Mini, they roll off as 8J by 19 ET57 5x112. What on earth does all that mean? Well, I'm going to use this wheel to help us break some of those things down. So let's do the 8J thing first. That's dead easy. Now, wheels use a combination of imperial and metric measurements, which I've never understood, but 8 is the width of the wheel in inches, and J describes this thing here. It's called the bead profile. It's how the tyre is going to sit on the wheel. Now then, maybe the most important thing, now most of us know this as wheel offset, but the ET57, now ET is actually short for some German, so Einpresse Tiefe is what ET stands for, and 57 is describing the offset, whether it is neutral, positive or negative. Now inside the wheel, you can see this face here where the wheel actually sits on the hub. If you can imagine now looking at through the cross section of the wheel, if it sits perfectly in the middle, that face, that would be a neutral offset. If it's towards the outside face of the wheel, it is a positive number, and towards the inside face of the wheel, it is a negative number, and the number is just in millimeters. So mine is ET57, so it is 57 millimeters towards the outside or the front face of the wheel. Now, the other important thing to do with offset is the distance between that face and the inside edge of the wheel, and that is called back spacing. So if you think about it, that would describe how far into the wheel arch the wheel goes. So if you start to choose some wheels and move that offset, you've got the ability to either move the wheel into the wheel arch or out of the wheel arch. And if you're not careful, if it moves into the wheel arch, you might foul with the suspension components or the inner parts of the wheel arch. If it moves out towards the outside of the car, you might foul with the actual wheel arch outer itself. You might have to roll your arches. So that allows you to move the wheel. The other thing about the offset is you might well want some deeper dished wheels on the front or a nice flat front. So by moving that offset, you can play with the position of the wheels inside the car and get a slightly different look. And that's why that's important, but it's probably best to seek advice from someone who knows the kind of car that you're wanting to put the wheels on. And the final part of my wheel spec was 5x112, and that is describing the pitch circle diameter and stud pattern of the attachment of the wheel. Now my Mini has 5 bolts or studs, this one has 4, so that's where the 5 comes from. This would be a 4 times by something, and then the number 112 is 112 millimeters, and that is describing the diameter between the center of these holes. So again, you need to make sure that you're choosing, I mean, the number of studs is probably the obvious one, but the correct pitch circle diameter. Now your final deciding factor could well be aesthetics or weight. Now this is OZ's super lightweight wheel. This wheel at 17 inches is only 6.5 kilos, and that helps to reduce the unsprung mass in the car, which ultimately helps handling and performance. Now that wasn't the reason I chose the wheels I went for. I went purely on aesthetics, and I need to say a huge thank you to OZ Wheels for supplying me the wheels to Charlie Clubman. Are you ready to see what I've chosen? Okay, so thanks to OZ Wheels, check out these are Super Turismo Evoluzione wheels, and I think they are absolutely stunning. Black contrast with the styling I've already got on the Clubman, and look at those. With a red detailing, I think it's going to work really, really well on the car. So I've got lovely wheels, slightly different offset. They're still 19-inch. They are 8.5 wide rather than 8, so slightly wide, a little bit more grip. But what tyres am I going to put on them? What are the deciding factors to tyre choice? Yeah. Now, the big thing for me on the Clubman, I'm currently running run flat tyres, so anything that's not run flat is going to be a major bonus. You need to think about what the width and the profile is going to be. So I've actually gone for a slightly wider tyre. The Clubman's currently running 235 wide tyres, and I've gone for 245 and a slightly different profile. So I've gone from 235 35s to 245 30s. And I have to say a huge thank you to Michelin for providing the tyres. Now, I'm running Pilot Sport 4 tyres on my Roadster and love those, but I wanted to take a step up, so I have a beautiful fresh set of Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tyres to go around those lovely OZ wheels. I cannot wait to run these on the Club, and I think they're going to make a massive difference to handling and ride quality, and I think they're going to look absolutely awesome as well. Now then, remember Jack from the Ruby Roadster modification videos? He has fitted the first 3 tyres to the wheels because I was playing with the other ones doing my filming, and they just look absolutely awesome. Now, one thing we do have to remember is tyre pressure monitoring systems. I haven't forgotten this time, but we'll talk more about that in a moment. But yes, very, very happy with those. So it's now starting to get exciting. Jack has just reversed the car in onto the lift. We've got 1 tyre to fit, and then we can start putting the new wheels. Any guesses what that's going to look like? I mean, obviously, there's big fans of these. I really still love those, and I'm going to be keeping them at home, but I can't wait to see the new ones on. Now, those of you who followed my channel for a while will know that when I changed the wheels on Ruby Roadster, it then failed its MOT because of the tyre pressure monitoring system. I haven't fallen for that trick this time. I've had new sensing valves put on there. Now, that is something to bear in mind because they are £100 each, so that's 400 quid extra on top of your wheels and your tyres, because I want to keep my old wheels. I could have taken the valves off of them, but I want to keep those, and therefore that's an extra cost that you might need to think about. So this is the TMPS valve going in, so we can excellent. No MOT fails coming this time then. She's up in the air on the lift. It's the first time I've seen underneath. I've just recovered a little bit of undergrowth from underneath the car. But yes, now one thing that will be hugely apparent straight away is I've just put up the new tyres next to the old ones, and the new ones are so much wider. I think it's going to be quite a dramatic difference. See, if you're not tuning Ruby Roadster, you're changing my wheels. Welcome back to the channel, dude. Now then, slight admission, this wheel is now going to go off and be refurbished because it has a little bit of damage. And before anyone says anything, it wasn't me. Now then, here's something to think about as well. So this is the locking wheel nut off of the car, and these are the new bolts that have come with the wheels. And clearly they are different, so I'm not going to be able to use my existing locking wheel nuts. I'm going to have to get a different set of locking wheel nuts, but that's all good because the guys from Lohen have some that are perfect. Now, I said one reason why you might change your wheels is to get a lighter wheel, so let's test that one out. So my existing wheels are 20.4 kilos with wheel and tyre. Let's get one of the new wheels. Okay, so interestingly, my new wheels are actually 21.6, so they are heavier than the wheels coming off, but then they are wider, so I've got more tyre. But I didn't choose these wheels for lightness and performance. I chose them because they look awesome. What do you think?
That nice. That looks great.
Tantalisingly close to seeing how they look now. Get these bolts torqued up and then the centre locks on. Whoa. And now for the pièce de résistance, the sexy bit. Oh yeah. They're on and they look absolutely awesome. I'll wait till we get outside to show you because I think it will look far better than in here with the light. But so happy with the way they look. The car just needs to sit a little bit because it's just come off the jacks, but yes, very, very cool. So I think the next thing we do is get the car outside and have a proper look at these wheels. There you go, she is all finished. I brought her out into the daylight so you can behold the magnificence. I am delighted with the finished product. I think they work so well. That black wheel works so nicely with the black details of the car, the black door handles, the privacy glass, the belt line, and then that red center lock basically ties in with the striping, the red roof. I just think it ties the whole car together. The fit is absolutely perfect. They are a bit wider, they do come out into the arch just that little bit more, but I think they look absolutely fantastic. I know you're going to instantly comment that I probably need to put some lowering springs on the car now, but never mind, that might be the next project, you never know. I want to say a massive thank you to a few people. First off, OZ Wheels for providing the wheels. I've been a big fan of OZ for a long time. I've always wanted a set on my car. Since my very first car, I wanted those white OZ Raleigh wheels, but to have those, I just think look brilliant. Big thank you to Michelin, Pilot Sport 4S tyres, one of my favourite tyres. To finally have those on my Mini. I've had Pilot Super Sports on my Roadster. I've got Pilot Sport 4 tyres on my Roadster now. I did think about Cup 2s, but for this car I use it for too much road driving. I'm not really going to do too much track driving, so I think Cup 2s would be a bit overkill really. But you never know, on my Roadster I might be interested. But yes, thank you to Michelin. And then finally, thank you to Mark and all the team at Lohen for making today possible. I love coming up here. These guys know Minis like nobody else. They are true professionals. And if you are interested in basically getting your wheels done on your car, then contact Lohen. I will put details below, and they are certainly the people to talk to. But yes, I hope you enjoyed this one. If you have done so, please give me a thumbs up. Comments below are always welcome, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to PetrolPed for plenty more content to come, and I'll see you on the next film, guys. But right now we're going to go and put Charlie Clubman on the Lohen rolling road to see how much power she's got. Stay tuned for that one. It'll be coming to the channel very, very soon. You take care, guys. Drive safe.